सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we're about 43. Okay, 44. Today is our fourth day. We are running a little bit behind on the topics from the past topics, but we'll try to cover them in the next 6 days. So today is our fourth day. So today, including today, we have 6 days to cover. So we'll do as much as possible to cover the topics that we were not able to cover in the past sessions. Today, major topic is our society. We have briefly stumbled upon a few things like caste system, Dalit, untouchability, Sati Pradakal. We have stumbled upon. आज थोड़ा विस्तार से चर्चा करेंगे अपना सोसाइटी के बारे में, जो गलत अवधारणाएं विदेशी लोगों ने, विदेशी ताकतों ने अपने ही लोगों से फैलाया है. This deep state of the world has been working relentlessly to justify the colonization of the world and in India, so that we continue to use their methods of ruling, so that we continue to use their method of education, we continue to use their method of Nyaya Vyavastha, their method of Rakshana Vyavastha, So हमें उल्लू बना के इतने दिन, इतने सालों से the so-called independence, स्वराज बोले थे, स्वतंत्र तो हमें नहीं मिला. कुछ हद तक स्वराज बोल सकते हैं, मगर वो भी सही ठीक से नहीं है. स्वतंत्र, when you talk about स्वतंत्र, स्वराज बोले तो हमारे ही लोग हमें राज करने का समय, राज्य को स्वराज्य बोलते हैं. स्वराज्य means when the people of our own country are ruling us. Swatantra means, tantra means the methods. Methods are our administration methods, our Vidya Vyavastha educational methods, our economic methods, Arthashastra, our Rakshana Vyavastha, Rakshana methods, the defense methodologies. तो ये सब तो हमारा हुआ नहीं. आप लोग हैरान हो जाएंगे, यहाँ पे हैदराबाद में, ये कहाँ का, यूपी का, 10-15 साल के पहले, शायद 2008 में कभी एक जजमेंट दिया था हाई कोर्ट जज. क्योंकि जो बंदा कोर्ट को गया उसको इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, बहुत छोटे से गांव से आया था, तो जज ने जजमेंट उसको समझना चाहिए, उसको तेलुगु लोकल लैंग्वेज में जजमेंट दिया. So Chief Justice of the High Court here in Hyderabad, he has given a judgment in Telugu local language because the plaintiff doesn't understand the English. The next day, Supreme Court judge has suspended the High Court judge. Supreme Court judge immediately next day उस High Court judge को suspend कर दिया. बोलता है कि how dare you give the judgment in Telugu, non-English, not in English. तो हर बंदा देश को, जब वो लोग चले गए, पूरा देश को, हर गांव में सबको इंग्लिश सीखना ही पड़ेगा. तो ये 100 साल के पहले नहीं बात कर रहा हूं मैं, 15 साल के पीछे पहले बात कर रहा हूं मैं. ऐसी व्यवस्था में है हम अभी भी. अंबेडकर खुद इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को फाड़ना चाहता था. उसने बोला कि कॉमन मैन को इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से कोई जस्टिस मिलेगा ही नहीं. इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से पार्लियामेंट में फाड़ना चाहा इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कितने लोगों को पता है? लोग बोलते हैं कि अंबेडकर ने लिखा है. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन 99.9% 1935 में बना हुआ है. प्रोविंशियल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, मद्रास प्रेसिडेंसी, बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी, वो जब रूल करना चाहते थे, रूल कर रहे थे, वो टाइम पे बनाया हुआ था. थोड़ा सा चीज इधर उधर करके वैसे के वैसे ही पास कर दिया। अम्बेडकर तो सिर्फ ही वाज जस्ट डबल स्टैम्प, वो तो सिर्फ साइन किया है, ही वाज द चेयरमैन, ही डिड नॉट राइट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, उसने नहीं किया। हम पूरा श्रेय अम्बेडकर देते हैं। दिस वाज ऑल कंट्रोल्ड एंड एग्जीक्यूटेड बाय द ब्रिटिश। मैं कहता हूं एक्चुअली अम्बेडकर वाज मच बेटर देन एनी अदर पॉलिटिशियन इन इंडिया एट दैट टाइम, लॉट बेटर देन नेहरू। बहुत सारे चीज वो व्हेन यू लुक्ड एट कश्मीर का राजा आके मुझे ये चाहिए वो चाहिए बोला तो इन रिटर्न तुम क्या दोगे मुझे? कश्मीर का राजा नहीं सर, फारूक अब्दुल्ला का उसका पिताजी आके वो सारा चीज पाके तो मैं नहीं दूंगा करके भेज दी। He did not refuse to buts to what they have asked for। और अम्बेडकर इसलिए आजकल हमें अम्बेडकर का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन चाहिए बोल के बोल रहे, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव बीन चेंज्ड आफ्टर द अम्बेडकर 1947 में, जो 1950 में जब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पास हुआ, उसके बाद में जब अम्बेडकर को और पटेल को बगल में डाल के नेहरू ने बहुत सारे चेंजेस किया। उसके बाद में इंदिरा गांधी किया, यू नरसिंह भी किया, प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट इसमें उसमें 76 में 75 में इमरजेंसी में सबको अपोजिशन लीडर्स को सबको अंदर भिजा के सेक्युलर कंट्री करके सेक्युलर वर्ड जोड़ दिया, किसने? इंदिरा गांधी ने। एनीवे, सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड अवर caste system or Chaturvarna system properly. What was our society like before? '61, okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. So in the Europe, the caste is a word from the Portuguese word casta. Casta means we say जब कुछ अपना हाथ टूट गया तो caste डालते हैं ना, fixed बा, rigid बा. It's not flexible. अपना चतुर्वर्णा system जो था, you could be born in any jati, but you could choose any varna. And your varna is the one that you choose. स्वयंवर बोलते हैं। जब क्षत्रिय क्षत्राणी जब शादी करती है, उसको उसका मर्जी का बंदे को चूज करना, राजा को प्रिंस को चूज करना उसका मर्जी का होता है। सो वर बोले तो टू चूज। सो वर्णा सिस्टम मीन्स टू चूज विच ऑक्यूपेशन यू वांटेड टू। इट वाज नॉट फिक्स्ड। हाँ, थोड़ा सा रिजिडिटी हो सकता है। फैमिली might feel little uncomfortable if they had some kind of a business or some kind of a very strong occupation that अगर लड़की किसी और वर्णा से आई तो थोड़ा उसको संभालने में मुश्किल हो जाएगी घर में, तो थोड़ा सा होगा, बट it was never a rigid this thing. Only when it comes to very public sphere there might have been some rigidity, but that has never been the rule in the country. You could see across the our Itihas and Puranas, people marrying from other varnas. There are some exceptions for certain reasons they have been given as a guidelines. So in the Europe, They have 71. In Portuguese, they had about 71 castes. And Pope has written it in vertical hierarchy and said that this is the top class, this is the second class, this is the third class. So he has given a 71 ranking for each caste. And they actually implemented that one in India, saying that in India, they had thousands of castes. So they said, oh, you are lower than this fellow, this caste, you are lower. And they even measured the nose, the height of the nose. So, they were looking at the features of the people and saying that your nose is longer, so you are on a higher varna. If you're a higher caste, if your nose is smaller, you have a lower caste. If your width of the nose. ऐसे चीजें करके, they just wanted to divide the society. So this one, if you look at, these were the castes within the Europe. Caste system in Europe. Dukes, bishops, earls, barons, abbots, knights. There are a lot more, actually 71. I was not able to get the picture today, but tomorrow I will try to share that 71, the ranking of the caste. And during the British system, the caste system of how many castes are there in the Islam in India? They have recorded about 300 and how many? 308 castes within the Muslim community also. So they were just using this as they were trying to find reasons to what are the methods we can use to change. So each jati, they have created it as a separate caste. So beautiful jati varna system has been transformed, 4 varna system into more than 4,000 or 6,000 castes in India. Based on every little definition of occupation of the people, they have created it as one caste. So now they are doing this SC corporation, BC corporation. They just wanted these people to sit separately from the rest of the crowd so that they can brainwash them. And they fund the little small leaders of this, the so-called leaders of these communities. They give the funding to these people, and they go, you have been suppressed by the Agravarna. You keep telling this. I have gone to many BC conventions, or the SC conventions. They keep these leaders. They'll come on the stage and talk about compulsorily. They'll say Agravarnas are suppressing us. Agravarnas are suppressing us. They're all the stooges of British, of the missionaries. For the sake of small benefit that they are getting, they are willing to sell this country. Our hierarchy, within our hierarchy, Vishnu, when you say, then they represent the Vishnu sleeping on the Adisesha as a societal symbol also, they say. Lakshmi Devi is sitting at the feet, because from the feet they say Shudras have come. So the Lakshmi, the money, actually wealth, actually gets accumulated to the people who are actually working hard. That is Shudras. That's why Lakshmi Devi is put on the feet of the Narayana. It is only symbolic. Chaturvarna system. Bhagini, I think I'm not having that slide. Chaturvarna that you have done. And within the Chaturvarna system, each Varna, all of these Varna, their duties are clearly mentioned in our Smritis. what is the role of a Brahmin, what is the role of a Kshatriya, what is the role of a what is the role of a what is the role of a Shudra, what kind of sacrifices they have to do in this for the society. Brahmanas, they should not work for the money. Continuously, they have to only work towards learning the knowledge, and then dissipate the knowledge to the others. And they should not be looking at creating wealth at all. Whenever they need anything, they have to go to the Shudras and get the alms, bhiksha. They have to do the bhiksha. The Brahmin had to sacrifice his knowledge by sharing it with others, thus guiding them. They serve the divine and paved the way for moksha, the civilization alignment with the divine cosmos. Brahmin should not be in the big, in the money-making business. I mean, when I say Brahmin, not by birth, I'm saying by practice. The person who is in the learning sphere, that people are always supported by this society. He would just go for a bhikshatana, he would get alms, उसको खाना कहीं भी मिल जाती थी. जब ब्राह्मण कहीं भी जाता था, भिक्षा लेता था, कोई भी अपने घर में कुछ नहीं है तो भी ब्राह्मण को खाना खिलाते थे, क्योंकि वो पैसों के लिए काम नहीं कर रहा, देश के लिए काम कर रहा. और जो क्षत्रिय है, ये सारे समाज को लड़के समाज को बचाने का काम करते रहे, अपना तन को त्याग के. He would sacrifice to die for the nation. At any time, at any point of time, he is willing to die for the nation, die for the society. Or Rajas, even though they have lot of lot of wealth in the Rajyam, in their kingdom, he doesn't have the authority on that. अगर वो कुछ पैसा लेना चाहता है तो वो लिख के देना पड़ता है किस काम के लिया है. अगर रानी लिया तो भी वो पूरा राज्य का होता है वो सोना. It is record is kept in the कोषाधिकार, with the कोषाधिकारी. और वैश्यास को क्या बोलते हैं, आप जाके जितना भी पैसा कमाओ आपके पास मत रखो. You should not keep. वैश्यास should earn money and दान करना चाहिए. You should donate the money for the sake of the society. जब लोग दूसरे देशों में बेच के अपने देश में जो भी चीजें बनती थी, when they used to ship via ships, they used to go to the Europe, all the way till Australia, all the way till Americas also they used to go. They used to sell their goods produced by Indian worksman, arts person, and they used to bring gold back to the society. And when they bring the gold, they used to give this gold to whatever the profit they had, they used to donate it to the temples. कितने सारे temples में इतना सारा gold कहाँ से आया? ये business people, they should donate whatever they have. They might have kept a little bit of it and give maximum out of it. When there is a famine or when there is a difficult situation, they would use that money. Our temples, they used to store the grains. Everybody used to produce a grain. They used to give as a portion to the temple, and they used to temple gropram. They used to put the grains. And when there is a famine, जब अकाल पड़ा, तो वो grains temple से निकाल के सबको बांटते थे. इतना beautiful system. और ये सब करने के लिए कोई ना कोई काम करके वो लोग कुछ बनाना चाहिए, कुछ आइटम्स बनाना चाहिए, कुछ चीजें बनाना चाहिए. वो कौन बनाता था? पूरा शूद्र है. It is a very scientific technical term. Skilled working class. आज skilled working class बोले तो सही है, और अपना संस्कृत वर्ड शूद्र बोले तो गलत है. क्योंकि मूवीज में ऐसा शूद्र को नीचा दिखाने का सिलसिला चालू कर दिए नाटकों में, मूवीज में, क्योंकि उसका मीनिंग बताने वाला हमारा गुरुकुल नहीं है ना। हमारा गुरुकुल का हमारा मीन्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन को सारा निकाल दिया, और वो लोग पूरा कम्युनिकेशन उनके हाथ में लगा के वो लोग कुछ ना कुछ बकते गए इतने साल, आज भी बक रहे। एंड पूरा वेल्थ जो है, रिच पीपल जो है, शूद्रास होते थे, शूद्रास जो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, वैश्यास जो जाके दूसरे देशों में, they used to sell their goods produced by the shudras, and the entire community was protected by the kshatriyas. Strong men used to be in the form in the kshatriya class, और सबको ये शूद्रास ही is the one that used to give दान to the Brahmins, because उसी के पास पैसा होता था, क्योंकि वो ब्राह्मण जो है उनके बच्चों को पढ़ाता है। He used to teach the children of the other varnas. So one Brahmin was taken care by 6 or 7 families. One family of Brahmin family, एक Brahmin family को 6 से 7 शूद्रा फैमिलीज टेक केयर संभालते थे। और ये ब्राह्मण हर किसी के पास नहीं जाता था, जब भी उसको कुछ चाहिए था, he will just go to those 6 or 7 families गांव में। अगर ये लोग ब्राह्मण ऑपरेशन कर रहे, कैसे किया ऑपरेशन, उसके पास क्या था? If you look at in Tamil Nadu, the Kshatriyas of the Tamil Nadu were been भड़का के ब्रिटिशर्स ने, ये एंग्लिसाइज इन्होंने, ये मिशनरीज ने, ब्राह्मणों को बात क्यों सुनते हो, उसको मार दो करके they started killing the Brahmins and driving them away. So just before the Britishers came, entire Bharat was under the control of Marathas. पिछले क्लास में बताया था, पिछले सेशन में। I don't know if how many people have seen the Maratha Empire. इतना बड़ा होता था मराठा एम्पायर 1759। यहाँ पे दिस वन ऑन द यूपी बिहार एरिया में अवध होता था, which was under the Muslim Nawab, and one was the Bengal, and Assam was the one Bengal Nawab होता था। यहाँ पे निजाम होता था तेलंगाना आंध्र प्रदेश में, and साउथ में मैसूर किंगडम under the Tipu Sultan. But all of them were paying tributes to Maratha Empire. When Britishers came, this was the map of India. This big, up to Tanjavur. Or how many people know yesterday, and I asked the question, majority, 70% of them said it was under Mughal rule. Mughals तो खत्म हो गए थे. Bajirao has destroyed the Mughals. Whatever we have learned in the history, it's all bullshit. सब गलत सुना है. And whatever, until now, whatever has been taught in the textbooks is what our adversaries want us to believe in. जो लोग अपने को कुचलना चाहते हैं, वो लोग ही आज तक कंट्रोल किए। वो लोग जो भी लिखा हुआ है अपने टेक्स्ट बुक्सों में, वो सब कुछ गलत, 100% गलत है। हाँ, तो what we have to understand, how did they do this? So they have come up with many strategies. They have come up with RN invasion theory, caste system. And they were able to convince, or probably they have, during the colonial time, even like Majumdar or इतना बड़ा scholar था whatever he has written about the medieval India, like Islamic invasions, extremely good, extremely good. But they might have forced him to do except one thing so that he can write what he was writing. Like each scholar, they would ask them to do some tweak if they have to survive, probably. Bal Gangadhar Tilak bhi, unfortunate, he is very good astronomer. Magar, in his writing, he wrote from Arctic Circle. From Arctic Circle, pura Aryans aaye idhar. He has written 1500 BC from Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle में कौन है भाई वहां से आने वाला? कौन है आर्कटिक सर्कल में इधर आने के लिए? कोई जी सकता है आर्टिकल सर्कल? तो वहां से आके इधर जाके कैन दे सर्वाइव? आर्यंस वहां से आए. That's why it has become so difficult. And whoever has been writing the true Indian history and debunking the ये colonial historians को debunk करने वाले थे, उनको सब कुछ कुचल दिया. So one of them, देखो ये पंडित कोटा वेंकटाचलम, ये कांचीपीठ का शंकराचार्य था 20th century का. The plot in Indian chronology. This book explains. If anybody, anybody can download this book. It's an extremely good book to know the real history of India, especially the chronology of India. King list from right from the Mahabharata, Srishti Vignana, all the things are, what kind of mischief that Britishers have done, how they have dated Chanakya ko or Chandragupta Maurya ko leke aake, they have made them contemporary to Alexander. Chanakya, Chandragupta were 1500 years before Alexander. इसके उसके ऊपर इतना 100 एपिसोड का सीरियल बन गई. We all started to think that it is true. Chanakya was never contemporary to Alexander. वो गुप्ता डायनेस्टी का चंद्रगुप्त को, किसी और गुप्त को चाणक्य का चंद्रगुप्त को इक्वेट करके अपना इतिहास से 1280 इयर्स को खत्म कर दिए. विक्रमादित्य को मिथिकल किंग बना दिए, उसको कहीं भी फिट नहीं कर पाए. So you can actually, everybody, I suggest everybody download this book, The Plot in Indian Chronology. ऐसे लोगों को इनके बुक्स को पब्लिश करने नहीं दिया. नेहरू ने आके आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस, देखो ये 1953 में लिखा है, मगर his books did not get published. अभी उसका पोते आज they are trying to publish these books now, मगर उसका कुछ बुक्स आर्काइव में चला गया. The caste system is, yani, like by the people identifying by their jati was there everywhere. If you look at in Americas and England or other Europe, they will have a name called Tyler, Goldsmith, Smith, all kinds of barber. They will have these last names. हर जगह होता था, अपना लास्ट नेम लगाते थे, अपनी आइडेंटिटी. सिर्फ ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जो है यूरोप में था, 100% था. और वो उनका अवधारणा, उनका सोसाइटी का अवधारणा लेके आके आप भी ऐसा ही है करके अपने लिटरेचर में डाल दिए, अपने लिटरेचर में डाल दिए. और एजुकेशन सिस्टम आप उनका कर दिया. और मिशनरीज थे, उनको उनका दिस थिंग प्रचार करने के लिए. द सक्सेस ऑफ द मिशनरीज was ये लोग सबसे पहले they created utter poverty in this country. They started destroying each occupation by occupation. हर गांव में हर चीज they used to create. They used to have every type of person in every village. At the best, Ankanam bolte the 8 villages. The maximum trade between the villages used to be within the Ankadam, 8 villages. एक बाउंड्री होता था, सिर्फ ये वो 8 विलेजेस ही ट्रेड करते थे, उसके बाहर जाते ही नहीं थे वो। द ओनली एक ही आइटम इंपोर्ट करते थे ये 8 विलेजेस, क्योंकि 8 विलेजेस लेके समृद्ध होते थे, सेल्फ सफिशिएंट होते थे। तो एक ही आइटम दे यूज्ड टू इंपोर्ट, दैट इज सॉल्ट, नमक। सिर्फ नमक बाहर से लेके आते थे, क्योंकि इंटीरियर प्लेसेस में नमक पैदा नहीं होता, सी शोर से आना पड़ता था। तो इतना डिसेंट्रलाइज होता था इकोनॉमी भारत का। राजा कौन चेंज हुआ, कौन कौन आया कौन गया, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं था गांव में, और उनके लिए कोई चेंज नहीं होता था। राजा कोई भी आ जाए, राजा को कभी तंग नहीं करता था, कभी भी नहीं। मगर जब विदेशी आए, वो अधर्म पालना करने लगे, टैक्सेस ज्यादा डालना लोगों के पास, ये सारे लेके स्टार्टेड इन्वेस्टिगेशन। जब हाँ, somebody says, yes sir, somebody is talking something. Yeah, somebody wants to say something. Yeah. तो अपना देश में जब वो विदेशी आए, ब्रिटिशर्स आए, बाकी के यूरोपियंस आए, वो टाइम पे हम देश में संघर्ष कर रहे थे, इस्लामिक इन्वेशंस और रूलर्स और इंडियन देसी रूलर्स दोनों लड़ रहे थे, थोड़ा संघर्ष चल रहा था। वो समय में, संघर्ष के समय में, अभी पूरा काबिज 100% नहीं हुआ था, उसी समय में फिर से विदेशी ताकतें आके they have exploited. Actually, Muslims actually, if you look at the map here, सबसे पहले ये बंगाल प्रोविंस ले लिए थे ब्रिटिशर्स, क्योंकि बंगाल नवाब जो था वहां पे एक सेठी बिजनेसमैन के साथ कुछ अन्याय किया था, या उसको कुछ अवमान किया था, तो उसने जाके ब्रिटिशर से मिल गया, उसको 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 निकालने के से पावर में से निकालने के लिए, और मराठा से भी देखते रहे। दे आल्सो वांटेड टू ब्रिटिशर्स टू टेक ओवर दैट वन ऑफ द प्रोविंस, सो दैट उसको कभी भी हम धकेल देंगे करके ये लोग देखते रहे। दैट वाज आल्सो अनदर मिस्टेक। वी नीड टू लर्न फ्रॉम द मिस्टेक। कौन सा मिस्टेक्स हम किया है चरित्र में। सो द नेक्स्ट मराठास आफ्टर पानीपत वार पूरा फिर वापस रिटर्न जाके पूरा जो भी अब्दाली का प्रोविंसेस जो भी वो अब्दाली ले लिया था, वो पूरा वापस ले लिया 1971 में। 62 में पानीपत वार 3 हुआ था। So just to teach Maratha Empire will take several sessions. It's very, very interesting story to listen to. मगर जब मराठास ने ये अवध किंगडम को, जो भी नवाब था, उसके ऊपर बदला लेने के लिए जाते थे, क्योंकि नवाब, अवध का नवाब अब्दाली से, अफगानिस्तान का अब्दाली से मिल गया था पानीपत वार 2 में 1962 में। तो उसके बाद में 1971 में फिर से मराठास फिर से रिसर्क्शन करके जाके ये अवध का नवाब को वो सबक सिखाना चाहते थे। वो डर के वो ब्रिटिशर से मिल गए। He aligned with Awadh, UP का नवाब, he aligned with Britishers to safeguard himself from the wrath of Marathas. And definitely we have also done mistakes, we have to learn about them. Okay. But slowly Marathas also, they have fought for another 25 years and finally they lost to the British, whatever the reasons may be. And that's a separate study in itself. तो हमने तो पूरा जीत लिया था ऑलमोस्ट। कौन कहता है कि हम हिंदू लड़ते नहीं है, वी डोंट सैक्रिफाइस, हम खून नहीं बहाते? इतना लोगों ने, लाखों लोगों ने। और हु वाज लीडिंग दिस मराठा एम्पायर एट दैट टाइम? शिवाजी के बाद और बाजीराव से लेके सारे ब्राह्मण थे। पूरा देश के लिए किसने लड़ा? अपना खून किसने बहाया? ब्राह्मणों ने बहाया ना। पूरा देश को एकत्रित करने में ऑल द पेशवास वेर ऑल ब्राह्मण्स, मराठा पेशवास। So, जब Peshwas has taken the higher seat in the Maratha Empire, finally when the Maratha Empire got dissolved in around 1800 BC AD, वहां का जो छत्रपति साहू महाराज था, the lineage from the Shivaji's lineage, crown prince, उसको ब्रिटिशर्स ने अपना लिया. And they used Sahu Maharaj to start creating the hate, Brahmin hate. And through him, they funded the Periyar in the Tamil Nadu. Now, Periyar is a Vaishya. He's a Telugu guy he's a Agravarna, for the so-called Agravarna. Okay. He's not even a Tamil guy. They used him. उसने कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर स्टोरी बना लिया, मैंने काशी गया, मुझे ब्राह्मणों ने मुझे ये किया वो किया करके he had become a British का stooge बन गया, missionaries का stooge बन गया. He married his own daughter. Man with no ethics. उसको देवता बना के रख दिए तमिलनाडु में. हर एक टेम्पल के सामने, बहुत सारे टेम्पल के सामने पेरियर का फोटो होता है वहां पे. द पर्सन हु बिलीव्स इन गॉड इज ए व्हाट यू कॉल फूल करके लिखा हुआ रहता है इन फ्रंट ऑफ द टेम्पल्स, इन हिंदू टेम्पल्स, विद द पेरियर स्टैच्यू ओवर देयर. आज भी हाउ डेयर दे डू दिस इन दिस कंट्री. अपने लोगों को इतना सुला दिया. वी आर स्लीपिंग for this nonsense. So, if you want to learn more about these things, I would suggest, see, many things I have taken. I combine a lot of knowledge from several sources, but one of the website that you can go to and get the information and is this website, bharatgyan.com. यहाँ पे बहुत सारा बुक्स है, Kindle versions भी है. Okay, there are a lot of these books in Autobiography India, Brand Bharat, about the identity, Breaking the Myths volume, and there are 5 volumes of Breaking Myths. इसमें जो चीजें हैं, if I have to talk, it will take more than 2 years. इतना सारा information है, बहुत ही research and information है. एक दो चीज I'm still not agreeing to those things, but majority of the stuff I really like that. 2012 story, Indo-Japan connect, Indo-Russia connect, Telugu Talli, Kasi Tamil Talangam. People need to learn. Some people, historical Rama, Sri Ramanand Tamiligam, an inseparable bond. सबका नाम राम लगाते हैं और बोलते हैं ये नॉर्थ इंडियंस आर्यन से. हाँ, हिस्टोरिकल रामा का हिस्टोरिसिटी पूरा, उनका वंश चरित्र पूरा इसमें रहता है. There are like so many books, and there are a lot of videos. Yeah, there are a lot of videos. Hundreds of videos are there. You can learn lot of things. Everybody is coming here. I want you to spend some time. They're all very, very small videos. Okay, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Few of them are like 1 hour and everything. But there are so many videos that every video has wealth of information in this website. Okay. And in the coming days, in coming months, we are going to have quiz on this literature that has been produced by the person, one family. I consider them also as one of my gurus. Okay. Sorry. Right. So yeah, this is not the founders are the D.K. Hari and Hema Hari. यहाँ पे है ना faculty D.K. Hari and Dr. Hema Hari. These two, one family, wife and husband, they run a hospital, Hindu Mission Hospital in Chennai. They do a lot of lectures. They write books and give it to the Pradhan Mantri. They are invited by the president several times. Okay. So please, I will type in this one in the chat. Done? Okay. It has been typed in the chat. So please go through that website, order the books. You can order the books online. There are a couple of websites. These books are available. If you just click here, you can see Amazon India, Kindle version, paperback. If Flipkart mein hai, paperback, Amazon mein bhi hai. Okay. And this is actually this. I think the funding for this entire project is done by none other than the Guru Ji of Art of Living, Ravi Shankar Ji. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहिए. इतना सारा रिसर्च बहुत बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं. We are really doing extremely good. Okay. So there are 308 castes in Islam, Muslims in India also. Now this is a list of the caste published by the British, none other than the British when they came here. Okay, the caste system in Islam mein nahi hai, ye pura galat hai. There is a caste system in Christianity too also. And then we'll very slightly touch upon the marriage and the women's role in Indian society. What is the status that Indian society has given to the woman? We refer to the woman as Ardhangini, Samars versus Saha, Sahacharini, Sahadharmini, Bahu. I think these are first four are very common used words. Sahacharini, Sahadharmini. Okay, an equal partner with the husband. Bahu. Why do you call a married woman, a Bahu? Bahu means in the Sanskrit many. Yeah.
Something more than son.
Yeah, tell Mahadev.
Multitasker.
No, something more than our son is Bahu.
Something more?
Yes.
So, more, multiple. Bahu means multiple, right? Bahu means multiple. Bahu means multiple. So Bahu means Bahurani, you tell that, right? You just don't say Bahu. You refer to her as Bahurani. Rani means the queen, right? So when a girl goes to the in-laws' house, she performs many roles in the house. And each role, she is the one who is the Rani. So multiple roles she play in the house as a son, daughter-in-law, as a wife of a husband, as a, if you have Devar Saito, uska bhabhi ka role play karti hai. So she plays many roles within the house and she takes all the charge of the house. Coming from outside the house, and one lady going into the house that is completely alien to her, and she takes the charge of it. That is the power of Indian woman. That we have given that role to that. And many kingdoms are actually not ruled by the kings. Major empires have always been ruled by the ladies in India. The thing is, king is always on the run with fighting wars. When he is fighting wars, who is managing the kingdom? Queen of the kingdom is running the affairs of the entire kingdom. She is making the decisions. Woman has never been discriminated. She has been always given a much higher respect than anybody else. Saraswati knowledge को representation सरस्वती को दिया, defense military strength का दुर्गा को दिया, अर्थ का लक्ष्मी को दिया, wealth के लिए. We have given women, we have never discriminated women in this society. The discrimination of the woman, looking at the woman as a sexual object, was only in the Europe and Middle East. Especially the Christian world and the Islamic world में women को कोई right नहीं है. They didn't have, even America 1929 तक they didn't have right to vote in America. Women didn't have right to vote in America. इतना सारा वर्ल्ड का लीडर बताते रहते है ना. सबको they wanted to teach the ethics to the world. मगर वहां पे there was no voting right for the women in that country until 1920s, 1930s. In England, women didn't have right to own any property. If the woman get widowed, means husband dies, all the property that of her husband, everything will go to the husband's family, brothers of the husband's family. She will lose everything. So they brought that law into India when they saw that all the wealth is owned by the women in India. Stree Dhan, we used to call them, the wealth owned by the woman is called as a Stree Dhan. In India, a man should never take the money from his wife. If he takes the money, he has to return it with interest. With interest. And Stree Dhan always used to grow, keep growing throughout the ages. And women were the one who were wealthy in the country. From that, the Britishers, they have implemented in 1870s that the woman should not inherit anything. If the husband dies, when the famines came, when anybody dies in the family, all the money was transferred to the brothers of the family. Then women have nothing. During that time, during that kind of situations, some of the provinces that British directly ruled, like a Bengal province or Madras presidency, some of the women committed suicide, jumping into the fire. That they have said that sati was the practice of the traditional practice of this Hindu society. It was never there. It was very rarely that happened, once in a while here and there. It was never forced one. Sati practice was always a voluntary one, not only for the women, it was there for the men also. When Adi Shankaracharya went in and tried to meet one of the great scholars, he told he was doing Agni Pravesha. And he says, I am done with my life. I have achieved whatever I have to do. If you want to do a debate, go and do with my disciple Mandana Mishra. Tab Adi Shankara jaake Mandana Mishra se he debates with a Buddhist scholar at that time. So voluntary sacrifice was there rarely, done by a few people. It was not generally a general practice in our society at all. So during the marriage, the priest shows the Arundhati Vasishtha Nakshatra, the two nakshatras. You see the two nakshatras in the sky. Usually in the South India, marriage used to happen in the night, so they were able to show the nakshatra. Why they used to show this nakshatra, two nakshatras, Vasishtha and Arundhati, twin nakshatras in the sky? They are of equal mass. Because they are of the equal size, they don't revolve. One of them cannot revolve around the other one because both of them are having the same type of same amount of gravitational pulls. So what happens is these two nakshatras, they revolve around one circle. One won't revolve around one like this. Both of them will revolve along this circle. Not one of them is not in the center. Both of them are revolving around the circle. So in a marriage, wife and husband should revolve around a circle, not one around the other. Marriage is a game of both going around together and not one going round the other in circles. Can you see the showing woman as a slave for a man here? Every family knows that they show this Arundhati Nakshatra during the marriage. There is a significance of every little thing has a very good significance, a meaning, some kind of a dharmic way of living in Indian society. The only scientific society in the world is our Sanatana Dharma, which is our whatever is left over in India or Hindustan, whatever you call it. Everybody is a mythological countries. All fake history they have. They make their people believe all the fake stories. And they say that they should not have any intuitive knowledge, no questioning. You have to accept. This is written, this is golden. You cannot make any questioning. If you question them, you are eliminated. In India, it is not like that. You can even question, you have the right to question Vedas. Within the Vedas, it is written that you don't have to believe Vedas. You can believe your own experiential. You can make decisions based on your own experience. Huh? Yeah, somebody wants to talk. Within India, we have 8 types of marriages. Brahmana Vivaha, marrying for procreation. अच्छा सा फैमिली बनाए और फैमिली को स्मूथली रन करने के लिए दे यूज्ड टू सेलेक्ट द पर्सन जो भी आएगा घर में या इस घर में जो भी काम होता था वो काम में कुछ हाथ बटाने के लिए सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ ऑक्यूपेशन में देखते थे. That is to protect themselves from their livelihood. It was nothing to do the discrimination or create a discrimination. It was never described like that. There are Daiva Vivaha, Arsha Vivaha, marrying to support a cause. Prajapatya Vivaha, marrying for the sake of the subjects. So this usually is done by the Rajas, like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. वो different clan का बेटियों को शादी किया, उसका माता जी ने उसको मना किया, so that all those clans come together so that they can unite and fight the Muslim leaders. Asura Vivaha, Gandharva Vivaha, Rakshasa Vivaha. This is very important one. Rakshasa Vivaha means if somebody abducts a girl and kidnaps her, then that kind of and marries her, that kind of Vivaha is called as a Rakshasa Vivaha. It is the type of mentality. It's not a clan. In Africa, आज भी the marriages are happen by kidnapping the girls. Whoever kidnaps the girl and rapes her, that girl is now married to that person. It is their tradition to kidnap and rape the girl before the marriage. That's why they are actually called as Rakshasas. Because of their practice. They are not following to the other dharmic way of giving proper respect for women. Why Asura, the Ravana Asura, he was called, Mandodari used to call him as a Aryaputra. But we call him Rakshasa because he kidnapped somebody else's wife. Because that is a pravritti of a Rakshasa. There was no strict rule in India. There was a proper freedom. Even there is no other country that gave proper freedom to their people, subjects. In our country, that's why our country used to be a dharmic country. The Vishwaguru yahi hota tha. It's not because of just the military power. We were the one who were guiding the entire in the Europe. They not used to be the marriage kind of marriage as an institution was given by Indians only to the Europe. Earlier, they never used to have this marriage kind of these things in the past. They used to have this kind of Rakshasa Vyavahara. That's why the people over there, we used to equate them to the Asuras also. So a lot of these unwanted children used to be taken care. Unwanted children used to be taken care by the convents, by the church. Convent, I am going to the convent. Convent means the people, unwanted children, जो मैरिज के बिना जो पैदा होते हैं, उस बच्चों को केयर करने के लिए जो स्कूल्स बनाए जाते हैं, चर्च वो टेक केयर करता था, उस स्कूल्स को कॉन्वेंट्स बोलते हैं. कॉन्वेंट्स मीन्स अनवांटेड चिल्ड्रन के लिए जो स्कूल्स बनाए हैं उसको कॉन्वेंट बोलते हैं. And we here now we call it I'm going to a convent. बहुत गर्व से बोलते हैं ना. We don't know what does convent mean. आप लोग गूगल कर सकते हैं. So here, love marriage is considered superior to arranged marriage. Parents should encourage those young men and women who love each other and want to get married. This kind of marriage is Brahma Vivaha. Marriage blessed by God. मगर when you do this, आप अपने बड़ों को बोल के करो, उनका भी राय लेके करो. So in the West, I have lived in America for 25 years. वहां पे they also, people who go to the church traditionally रहते हैं, वहां पे भी this is a practice. If a boy likes a girl, he should not go directly to the girl and say that I like you. It is considered very, very rude behavior. अगर उसको पसंद है तो वो उसको डायरेक्टली पूछना नहीं चाहिए. That is very bad manners in their culture also, even today. The boy should go and ask the girl's parents that I like your daughter, I wanted to get married. That is the respectable way of conveying the message. Or you talk to your own parents and their parents talk to the other side. Directly, if you're directly saying I love you, that means they are not giving the regard to the parents. घर में तुमने हमारा बात सुना है क्या? नहीं सुना तो तुम अपना झंझट तुम. So you're on your own. So youngsters, when they are watching this one, they need to know how to respect a girl. It is very rude, very irresponsible to go and directly say that I want to marry you or I like you. And India में क्या remarriage allowed नहीं है? It's absolutely wrong. सारा ये breaking myths, I think the volume 2 में जो भारत ज्ञान का इसमें 430 पेज में दिखा देखो. So they have given all kinds of references and all kinds of Manusmriti 9.81. So why, in what conditions wife can remarry, in what conditions husband can remarry. And widow remarriage is shown in Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Bauthana Dharma Sutra, Vasishtha Dharma Sutra, Parachara Smriti, Garuda Purana, Agni Purana, all the verses are being given. So the nonsense these people are spreading, we need to counter this nonsense. They have a mission. They wanted to convert us. They will keep talking lies about our civilization to feel bad about. And then this is very, very important. Reversioners. I think इसका जिक्र किया है मैंने. In India, where the property was inherited by a woman through her male relative, father, son, husband, or through her female relative, mother, mother's side, mother, daughter, it was held that it was not her Sridhana and it would devolve on the heirs of her husbands or fathers. Reversing Indian law, reversioners law. These Britishers have brought this one and said that money that she has inherited, if she becomes widow, then all that money will go to her husbands and fathers. ये law लेके आए थे Britishers ने. Upon the widow's death, the property revert to the husband's male relative, named as reversioners, bestowed upon the male relative the right to challenge all the property dealing by Hindu widows. They have lost all their right. अब अगर पति मर गया तो लड़की कैसे जिएगी भाई? अब मरेगी तो क्या करेगा? ये ब्रिटिशर्स आने के बाद ये हुआ है. ये ब्रिटिशर्स ने ये रिवर्शंस लॉ 1870s में लेके आया देश में. ये पूरा इंडियन माइंड फैब्रिक ऑफ सोसाइटी को खत्म कर दिया. इन इंडिया, भारत में वुमेन को महालक्ष्मी ऑफ द हाउस बोलते थे, उसको बेकार कर दिया जस्ट बिकॉज हस्बैंड डाइड इन अ वॉर और समथिंग, कुछ भी. And we think that Britishers have come and civilized ours. ये civilization करते हैं क्या? With passing this kind of laws, is that civilizing us? Not only to the individual families, they have even put this kind of laws on the kings and queens of the country. If you don't have the male heir, then after the death of the queen or the king, kingdom goes to the British directly. Rani Lakshmi, why did she revolt? Because she didn't have the son. He has whatever the son she had, वो उसका बेटा उन्होंने गोद लिया हुआ बेटा था. She has just taken the son and adopted son. तो उसका पूरा राज्य ब्रिटिश लेने वाली थी, वो रिवोल्ट कर गई. They applied it to the kings and queens also in the country, that you should have male hair only. So तब से जाके अपने देश में मुझे बेटा चाहिए, बेटा चाहिए, बेटा चाहिए, ये गलत, this kind of mindset has been enforced that if you don't have a male, then you lose everything. इसलिए मेल को पॉजिटिव, वुमेन को नेगेटिव बोल के ऐसा अवधारणा अपने सोसाइटी में सिर्फ लास्ट 200 इयर्स में आया पूरा. और सती और जौहर दो अलग चीज है। जौहर जो है, जब इस्लामिक इन्वेडर्स आए थे, राजपूतों को रानी लेडीज, दे यूज्ड टू परफॉर्म जौहर बिफोर द वॉर, ताकि अपने हस्बैंड्स जाके उनके बारे में मत सोचे, वो जाके अपना जान देने के लिए तैयार होने के लिए, उनको प्रिपेयर करने के लिए वो अपना जिंदगी त्याग करती थी अपने देश के लिए, so that they fight to the nail for the last breath. They kill as many enemy soldiers as much as possible before they die. कोई भी वीकनेस नहीं रहना चाहिए, इसलिए जौहर करती थी अपना राजपुतानी। उसके बोल दिया आपने अग्रवर्ण, उन्होंने शासन किया है, ये किया है, वो किया है। वो शेड्यूल कास्ट इज अ कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट बॉल गेम। मैंने शेड्यूल कास्ट के बारे में अभी बात किया ही नहीं। There was not a single Dalit before the British in this country. I don't know how many of people will accept this. एक भी दलित नहीं था। दलित यानी impoverished person, untouchable. Untouchability was practiced to protect the so-called untouchables, especially to the वनवासीस। वनवासीस को नगरवासी जाके उसको छूना नहीं चाहिए। आज भी लॉ है, अंडमान में जाके आप नहीं छू सकते उसको। वेस्टर्नर्स, ये जब यूरोपियंस ने जाके नेटिव अमेरिका पे गया, अमेरिकास में गए, तो 90% लोग वहां के लोग ऐसे ही मर गए। उनको लेप्रेसी आया, स्मॉल पॉक्स आ गया, चिकन पॉक्स आ गया, दे डिडंट हैव रेसिस्टेंस टू इट, लोग ऐसे ही मर गए। Because when they got contact, they transmitted, these people transmitted all kinds of diseases to them. आदिवासी को आप लगाए तो वो लोगों को भी उनका हाल भी यही होगा। इसीलिए बिकॉज नगरवासी के पास बहुत सारा डिजीजेस होता है और उनके पास थोड़ा रेसिस्टेंस पावर भी होता है, क्योंकि दे आर लिविंग वेरी क्लोज क्वार्टर्स, आजू बाजू रहते हैं, तो वहां पे ये व्याधियां फैलने का बहुत आसान होता है। और आते एक बार आने के बाद, दो बार आने के बाद उनके बॉडीज में रेसिस्टेंस पावर बिल्ड हो जाती है। मगर ये वनवासियों के पास दे आर प्योर, दे डोंट गेट इन कांटेक्ट विद दिस काइंड ऑफ वायरसेस, सो उनको पास इतना रेसिस्टेंस पावर नहीं रहता इन व्याधियों का, इन वायरसेसों का। इसलिए उनके प्रोटेक्शन के लिए हम उसको नहीं छूते, छूना भी नहीं चाहिए था। और शेड्यूल ट्राइब्स के बारे में बात कर दिया मैंने। शेड्यूल कास्ट क्या है? व्हाट इज शेड्यूल कास्ट? शेड्यूल कास्ट जो था, जब ब्रिटिशर्स ने बहुत सारे स्ट्रैटेजीज इस्तेमाल करके दे स्टार्टेड डिस्ट्रॉइंग वन जाति एट ए टाइम, एक एक जातियों का प्रोफेशन को अटैक कर रहे थे क्या, ताकि दे स्टार्टेड लूटिंग दिस कंट्री। वो पैसा निकाल के अपने पास, अपने ब्राह्मणों के पास जो भी ज्ञान था, टेक्निक्स थे, वो सब कॉपी करके वो अपने लोगों से वहां पे इंडस्ट्रीज लगा के, और इन्हें यहाँ पे आके बोल दिया अभी से आप स्टील मैन्युफैक्चर मत करो, अभी आपसे जिंक मैन्युफैक्चर मत नहीं करना, टिन नहीं मैन्युफैक्चर करोगे, अब से आप यू विल नॉट मैन्युफैक्चर क्लोथ्स। जो भी कर्मचारी होते थे उनका थंबनेल को काट देते थे ताकि वो लोग वीविंग नहीं कर पाते थे। इतना क्रूर था, इतना क्रूर। इस्लामिक इन्वेशन से भी बहुत बहुत क्रूर था। इस्लामिक इन्वेशन से तो हम लड़ रहे थे भाई, हम लड़ रहे थे, लड़के उनको हरा दिए, पूरा देश हमारा हो गया था ऑलमोस्ट। आपको मैंने दिखा दिया, राइट, मराठा एम्पायर कितना होता, पूरा इस्लामिक रूल को हमने हरा दिया था। मगर ये क्रिश्चियन मिशनरीज और क्रिश्चियन ब्रिटिशर्स आके, ये लोग चर्च ने भेजा इन लोगों को हाँ, आप लोगों को ये लोग ट्रेड करने के लिए अकेले नहीं आए यहाँ पे, ये लोग आके हमें लूट के हमें खत्म करने के लिए आए. And they were given the diktat that you have to go kill, plunder, take women as your slaves. Written advocacy by the Pope, Roman Catholic Pope ने पोर्चुगीज को और स्पेन लोगों को, पूरा दुनिया को दो हिस्सों में बांट के he has given that, and that agreement is called as, यार ये कौन सा चीज बन गया है यार ये, हाँ सॉरी, got messed up. I'm losing some of the screenshots, I don't know why. Yeah, this is the one. Treaty of Tordesillas is written in Spanish. 1494 June 7 में ये ट्रीटी किया गया था between Spain and Portuguese. ये दोनों कंट्रीज अपने आप में लड़ रहे थे. They were fighting among themselves. So the Pope ने क्या किया, पूरा दुनिया को एक he has drawn a vertical line. Map, world map, and said our entire East, Africa and Asia, I'm giving it to Portuguese. Entire North America and Brazil को छोड़ के बाकी का सब कुछ I'm giving it to Spain. Go and plunder the, convert, plunder, kill if they don't convert. बोल के dictate दे दिया. They took that right and they started coming to this non-Christian world, and they took this as their right to kill, as a diktat from the God. Claim all non-Christian lands south of Canary Islands after the Columbus claimed the Antilles. पोप ने लिख के दे दिया, भाई पूरा देश तुम्हारा है, ये पूरा ईस्ट पूरा तुम्हारा है, वेस्ट पूरा तुम्हारा है. People can, if you are interested, they can Google with this Tordesillas agreement. This is the beginning of colonization of the world. They excluded the exclusion of any other Christian empires. They just excluded the non-Christian empires and the बाकी सबको तुम जाके लूटो. You have the right to kill the men and take the woman as your slave. बच्चों को स्लेव्स को बना सकते हो. भारत में कभी भी स्लेव ट्रेड नहीं था. जब तक इस्लामिक इन्वेशन आए देश में, तब तक कभी भी स्लेव ट्रेड आई नहीं देश में. Slave trade has started only when the Islamic invasions happened. They were killing men, taking women, kidnapping the women, and selling them off in the Uzbekistan में and Turkey में लेके जाके they used to sell them as sex slaves. ये लोग आके हमें नीति सिखाएंगे. That is what they are writing in their scriptures. So since the East was given to the Portuguese का वास्को डी गामा इंडिया आया. स्पेन का कोलंबस he went to west to Americas. वो जब वेस्ट इंडीज में गया वो ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ पुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. So we're about 43. Okay, 44. Today is our fourth day. We are running a little bit behind on the topics from the past topics, but we'll try to cover them in the next 6 days. So today is our fourth day. So today, including today, we have 6 days to cover. So we'll do as much as possible to cover the topics that we were not able to cover in the past sessions. Today, major topic is our society. We have briefly stumbled upon the few things like caste system, Dalit, untouchability, Satiprada Kal. We have stumbled upon. आज थोड़ा विस्तार से चर्चा करेंगे अपना सोसाइटी के बारे में, जो गलत अवधारणाएं विदेशी लोगों ने, विदेशी ताकतों ने अपने ही लोगों से फैलाया है. This deep state of the world has been working relentlessly to justify the colonization of the world and in India, so that we continue to use their methods of ruling, so that we continue to use their method of education, we continue to use their method of Nyaya Vyavastha, their method of Rakshana Vyavastha, So, हमें उल्लू बना के इतने दिन, इतने सालों से the so-called independence, स्वराज बोले थे, स्वतंत्र तो हमें नहीं मिला. कुछ हद तक स्वराज बोल सकते हैं, मगर वो भी सही ठीक से नहीं है. स्वतंत्र, when you talk about स्वतंत्र, स्वराज बोले तो हमारे ही लोग हमें राज करने का समय, राज्य को स्वराज्य बोलते हैं. स्वराज्य means when the people of our own country are ruling us. Swatantra means, tantra means the methods. Methods are our administration methods, our Vidya Vyavastha educational methods, our economic methods, Arthashastra, our Rakshana Vyavastha, Rakshana methods, the defense methodologies. तो ये सब तो हमारा हुआ नहीं. आप लोग हैरान हो जाएंगे, यहाँ पे हैदराबाद में, ये कहाँ का, एपी का 10-15 साल के पहले, शायद 2008 में कभी एक जजमेंट दिया था हाईकोर्ट जज. क्योंकि जो बंदा कोर्ट को गया उसको इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, बहुत छोटे से गांव से आया था, तो जज ने जजमेंट उसको समझना चाहिए, उसको तेलुगु लोकल लैंग्वेज में जजमेंट दिया. So Chief Justice of the High Court here in Hyderabad, he has given a judgment in Telugu local language because the plaintiff doesn't understand the English. The next day, Supreme Court judge has suspended the High Court judge. Supreme Court judge immediately next day उस High Court judge को suspend कर दिया. बोलता है कि how dare you give the judgment in Telugu, non-English, not in English. तो हर बंदा देश में, जब वो लोग चले गए, पूरा देश को, हर गांव में सबको इंग्लिश सीखना ही पड़ेगा. तो ये 100 साल के पहले नहीं बात कर रहा हूं मैं, 15 साल के पीछे पहले बात कर रहा हूं मैं. ऐसी व्यवस्था में है हम अभी भी. अंबेडकर खुद इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को फाड़ना चाहता था. उसने बोला कि कॉमन मैन को इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से कोई जस्टिस मिलेगा ही नहीं. इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से पार्लियामेंट में फाड़ना चाहा इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कितने लोगों को पता है? लोग बोलते हैं कि अंबेडकर ने लिखा है. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन 99.9% 1935 में बना हुआ है. प्रोविंशियल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, मद्रास प्रेसिडेंसी, बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी, वो जब रूल करना चाहते थे, रूल कर रहे थे, वो टाइम पे बनाया हुआ था. थोड़ा सा चीज इधर उधर करके वैसे के वैसे ही पास कर दिया. अंबेडकर तो सिर्फ ही वाज जस्ट डबल स्टैम्प. वो तो सिर्फ साइन किया है. ही वाज द चेयरमैन, ही डिड नॉट राइट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. उसने नहीं किया. हम पूरा श्रेय अंबेडकर देते हैं. दिस वाज ऑल controlled and executed by the British. मैं कहता हूं एक्चुअली अंबेडकर was much better than any other politician in India at that time. Lot better than Nehru. बहुत सारे चीज वो when he looked at कश्मीर का राजा आके मुझे ये चाहिए वो चाहिए बोला, तो इन रिटर्न तुम क्या दोगे मुझे? कश्मीर का राजा नहीं सर, फारूक अब्दुल्ला का उसका पिताजी आके वो सारा चीज को आगे तो मैं नहीं दूंगा करके भेज दी. He did not refuse to buts to what they have asked for. और अंबेडकर इसलिए आजकल हमें अंबेडकर का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन चाहिए बोल के बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव बीन चेंज्ड आफ्टर द अंबेडकर 1947 में, जो 1950 में जब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पास हुआ, उसके बाद में जब अंबेडकर को और पटेल को बगल में डाल के नेहरू ने बहुत सारे चेंजेस किया. उसके बाद में इंदिरा गांधी किया, यू नरसिंह भी किया, प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट इसमें उसमें 76 में 75 में इमरजेंसी में सबको अपोजिशन लीडर्स को सबको अंदर भिजा के सेक्युलर कंट्री करके सेक्युलर वर्ड जोड़ दिया. किसने? इंदिरा गांधी ने. एनीवे, सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड अवर caste system or Chaturvarna system properly. What was our society like before? '61. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay. So in the Europe, the caste is a word from the Portuguese word casta. Casta means we say जब कुछ अपना हाथ टूट गया तो caste डालते हैं ना, fixed वा, rigid वा. It's not flexible. अपना चतुर्वर्णा system जो था, you could be born in any jati, but you could choose any varna. And your varna is the one that you choose. स्वयंवर बोलते हैं. जब क्षत्रिय क्षत्राणी जब शादी करती है, उसको उसका मर्जी का बंदे को चूज करना, राजा को प्रिंस को चूज करना उसका मर्जी का होता है. सो वर बोले तो टू चूज. सो varna system means to choose which occupation you wanted to. It was not fixed. हाँ, थोड़ा सा rigidity हो सकता है. Family might feel little uncomfortable if they had some kind of a business or some kind of a very strong occupation that अगर लड़की किसी और वर्णा से आई तो थोड़ा उसको संभालने में मुश्किल हो जाएगी घर में, थोड़ा सा होगा, बट it was never a rigid this thing. Only when it comes to very public sphere there might have been some rigidity, but that has never been the rule in the country. You could see across the our Itihasa and Puranas, people marrying from other varnas. There are some exceptions for certain reasons they have been given as a guidelines. So in the Europe, they have 71. In Portuguese, they had about 71 castes, and Pope has written it in vertical hierarchy and said that this is the top class, this is the second class, this is the third class. So he has given a 71 ranking for each caste. And they actually implemented that one in India, saying that in India they have